Hey, what's going on, peeps? It's your boy, E2 Blue, coming back at you again. How's everybody doing today? Hey, we got another day of sunshine, so I'm happy about that. So, real quick, I want to talk about we got some standouts in OTAs. Now, again, it's OTA practice. We're not in training camp yet. We're not in preseason. So everything is hearsay right now. But hey, it's always good to talk about because anytime it's a positive for the team, it's always a good thing. You know what I'm saying? So I look at it like this. We got Cedrick Wilson. Cedrick Wilson is a 6th-round draft pick. Nobody expects him to do anything for this team. A lot of people don't even expect him to make the team. But the Cowboys picked him in the 6th round, but they were still high on him. They looked at him as a steal in this draft. Young wide receiver out of Boise State University. Now, very scrappy guy. You already know Dallas Cowboys love Boise State players. You look at Orlando Scandrick, Kellen Moore, um, Tyrone Crawford. You know what I mean? Like, to name a few. Boise State guys, and those Mountain West teams. They it's funny because they don't get a lot of respect, a lot of love, a lot of times, but there's a lot of good talent up there in that Mountain West. Now I will say this: Cedrick Wilson. Even watching him in OTAs and seeing what he's doing, a lot of people are trying to compare him to Terrence Williams, but not a body catcher, pretty much. We already know that Terrence Williams has the talent, but a lot of you guys are down on Terrence Williams because he's a body catcher and because he had a couple of blunders. Okay, granted. I've said it once before and I'm going to say it again. Terrence Williams still a good player, and he is great at when he doesn't have the ball in his hand, that's when he's his best. Which is crazy to say because a wide receiver, you want to see what they do with the ball. But he's also good at blocking in that pass and run game too. He helps a lot of these run after catch plays. A lot of those yak yards after catch, all that. He helps all that, and he's always helped in that aspect. You don't always pay attention to that because the person that you see with the ball, you just see them running. You see defenders trying to catch them, but you don't really pay attention to who's blocking. That's another reason why offensive linemen on teams are like not looked at, because you never notice an offensive lineman unless they doing something wrong. Because when they're blocking, they're doing their job. You don't pay attention to that. That's just like I've always said before. I coined it the lunch pail positions. That's what it is. Um, yeah, but Cedrick Wilson, he is emerging now. Again, it's going to be an uphill battle for him because you have spots locked up. You got Allen Hurns, you got T. Will, you got Cole Beasley. In those spots that are guaranteed. That's their spots. But it's going to be a great battle, and I'm looking forward to seeing it. Um, it's good to see these young guys getting in, doing the work, and showing this coaching staff, hey, I'm not going away quietly. Another guy that we have on this roster that we didn't draft, but we got him in free agency. Well, we got him via a trade. Jihad Ward from the Raiders. Now, we got him in that trade for Ryan Switzer. Now, a lot of people are mad that Ryan Switzer got traded. I was a little upset by it too because I felt like he didn't get a chance. But hey, if Cole Beasley is going to stay on this team, I guess something's got to give. You know what I mean? You can't have that many wide receivers on the team. You got to do something. But we definitely need a defensive tackle help, and Jihad Ward is already shining. And you look at it like this: sometimes when players are in certain schemes, they don't play their best because of the simple fact that it's not the right scheme for them. You look at a player like Terrell McClain that we had. Terrell McClain, well, he originally was with the Texans. Then we got him in free agency. He was with us for a couple of years, and then went to the Redskins. He was played with the Redskins last year. He didn't really bust a grape. I think he had maybe one sack and maybe a couple of tackles. But I mean, he didn't really bust a grape with the Redskins. just as most other players that leave the Dallas Cowboys and go to the go to the Redskins, they don't really do anything. But it wasn't the right scheme for him. The right scheme for him was here in Dallas. Well, there in Dallas, not here. You know what I mean? But yeah, in Dallas was where he made his bread and butter, which is why I'm shocked that he didn't re-sign with the Dallas Cowboys this offseason when he came back for a visit. Because I was thinking in my head, like, okay, he's definitely going to come back. I mean, where else is he going to go? And then when he signed with the Falcons, I was just like, where'd that come from? That was out of the blue, but I don't know. Maybe he was afraid of Rob Marinelli's drills or whatever. Maybe he had a flashback. It was like, I don't want to do no more than pod drills. Because one thing about Rob Marinelli, he's an old guy, but his tactics, I mean, he put these guys to work, and he makes them. He puts these guys to work, and they do the damn thing. But that's the reason why our defensive line is pretty stout right now, thanks to Rob Marinelli. Which I think that maybe at some point they need to downgrade him from the defensive coordinator to concentrate on the defensive line to help out Leon Lett, with the coaching these young guys. Now, Jihad Ward, Raiders didn't want him. John Gruden came in, became the coach, and he already was in there on the chopping block saying who he wanted to keep and who he didn't want to keep on the team. Now, they axed out Marquette King because they said that he was a problem, he was a diva, whatever have you. I still don't get that one because he's a punter. I mean, let a punter celebrate when he pins them inside the 10-yard line. I mean, come on now, he's a punter. He don't get a chance to celebrate. He's a punter. That's all they do. They just come in, punt, and they get back on the sideline. Like, I mean, and come on now, how many black punters in this league? I think he might be the only one. But, I mean, because then when you look at him, he looks like he should be playing defense or something, or a wide receiver. Like, he don't look like when you look at him, like if he was coming off of a bus with a team, you'd be like, that's not a punter. Like, you don't look at Marquette King and be like, that's a damn punter. No, that's not a punter. Like, but to each his own. He's a very talented guy, but that's neither here nor there. But Jihad Ward, Cowboy staff, he's turning heads. It looks like he's showing some promise with this team. And sometimes a change of scenery, sometimes a change of scheme is all the difference in a player's playing ability. Because again, a lot of times it's not about the ability, it's just about the team that he plays on and whatever scheme that they're running. And I've always been a firm believer of that. So those are two young guys that I was looking at, and they're not the only ones. It's a lot of young talent on this team, and I'm excited about where this team is going. Cowboys, literally, like when you guys think about it, I gotta go back and look at the numbers and see exactly where they're at when it comes to their numbers as far as them being one of the youngest teams in the league. But I know they're one of the youngest teams in the league. They went from one of the oldest teams in the league in a season to being one of the youngest now, and it's crazy because with the absence of Tony Romo, the absence of Jason Witten, the absence of Dez Bryant, the absence of some of these defensive players that were older, like Orlando Scandrick, and all these players that have been here for a long time. And I think the oldest player on this team right now, or the longest tenured player on this team, is LP Ladouceur. Y'all forget about old LP because LP is a long snapper. You don't notice LP because, like I said, with offensive linemen, that's another position that, like, if you notice that person, he ain't doing his job and he don't need to be on the team. So that's all I'm saying. Like, if he's been solid. I mean, LP Ladouceur, we got him randomly in, I think, I don't know if it was our first year in Oxnard when we had training camp, but they needed a long snapper, and they literally called somebody that was local in the area. I think he was from San Diego or something like that. And he literally drove over, tried out for the team, and he never left the team. And he's been here for 10 plus seasons. And I mean, it's crazy. But shout out to LP Ladouceur. Like what is his name? Luis Felipe. Yeah, he's awesome. But again, I'm just loving the overall talent that we have on this team right now. We have the ability to really go 11-5 this season, if not better than that. But Again, that's just me being optimistic about it, and I'm going to stand on that all day. I can't wait for training camp. I really am trying to get out there. I know I talked to a couple of your people about that area near Oxnard. I'm really trying to get out there. I'm trying to meet some of y'all that actually live out in the California area. That would be awesome. I've never been to California before. That is one place I really want to go visit. And I know that it's beautiful around that time of year. It's like 70 something degrees, and I mean, I love it. I can't be. I hate being hot. Like, 100 and something degrees every day is like, I don't want to be outside. You're gonna have to give me a tent or something somewhere. You got to give me one of those water bottles with the fan on it, where like the water is just spraying in my face consistently. Like I need that. Like, you know what I mean? Like I'm a hot box. I hate that. But another topic I want to bring up. I said I wasn't gonna talk about this, but it's just irritating seeing it. Now, first of all, I just want to say about this. A lot of people that do not like the Cowboys they always say, how are the Cowboys America's team? How are the Cowboys coined as the America's team? Well, look, I don't already spoke about this in the last video about why we're America's team. If you don't know by now, if you're not a Cowboys fan watching this, go look at the history. Go Google it. I mean, Google Magic. I mean, it'll tell you all about why we are America's team. But the thing about it is this: when you sit here and say, I can't believe that they're American, or I don't believe that they are, think of it like this. Dallas Cowboys are one of the most scrutinized, not just NFL teams, but just sports teams in the whole world. When you look at the whole anthem protest, you look at games lost, games won, player controversy, no matter if it's newsworthy or not, if it pertains to anybody that has any type of ties with the Dallas Cowboys, it's always in the news. I'm gonna give you some examples. I'm gonna go back to I don't want to talk about Sam Hurd, but any player that we had on this team that had any type of controversy, whether it was warranted to talk about or not, it's always talked about. Speaking of Sam Hurd, I know you guys remember that. When Sam Hurd, and I'm going to use this as an example, those of you that remember who Sam Hurd was, he was a wide receiver for Dallas Cowboys that actually went to he was a very good wide receiver, but he ended up going to the Bears after he left us, but he got caught up in a drug sting. He was literally selling drugs, and he had a whole underground drug operation that he was running that nobody knew about. His closest friends on the team, other players, did not know that he was into this stuff. It was almost like Sam Hurd had a secret life. He had a secret life. And then when you look at it, it's just like, how did he got away with it for a long time until he got caught up when he went to Chicago and he got arrested, and I think he's still locked up for it. I mean, he did some serious time for that. When the news came out about it, right? I think when it happened, he was already on the Bears. I don't think he was with the Cowboys at the time when he got arrested. But again, they always say former Dallas Cowboy. They never said that, oh, he played for the Bears. And I understand he spent most of his career with the Dallas Cowboys, more of it than the Bears. But again, they never say, normally when somebody gets arrested or something happens with a player, even if they don't play no more, they normally say the team that they last played for. That would have been the Bears. But they went straight to former Dallas Cowboy. Another example, your boy Greg Hardy. When Greg Hardy got into that domestic thing with his girlfriend and threw her on the bed with the guns and everything, you look at that situation. Now he's an MMA fighter. Whenever you hear stories about Greg Hardy now doing his MMA stuff, happy for him, whatever, he's doing this thing. But he spent most of his career in Carolina. But they always say former Dallas Cowboy. But, he was drafted by the Panthers, and he spent most of his career. He was only with us one season, and all of a sudden he's a former Dallas Cowboy. It's crazy because there's always controversy going around it. When he had that sideline rant when he threw the clipboard and was yelling at Richard Bisaccia, that was that front page headlines. Anything that Dez did, if Dez had a sour look on his face, even if like say if he had a booger in his nose or something and he was trying to pick it out, that's newsworthy. I, it and that leads me to what I'm gonna say about this latest news, and I know y'all heard about it. And I know a lot of other YouTubers have been talking about it too. Like I wasn't gonna speak on it, but here we go. This whole Dak Zeke going into the store buying penis-shaped water guns. Ha 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 ha. Okay, all right. You guys realize they're 23 and 24 years old. What were you guys doing at that age? And I'm talking to the fellas right now. I know girls are more mature than we are growing up. But what were you doing in your early 20s? You was playing jokes and doing crazy stuff like that too. You got to look at it like this. These are young. Yes, they're NFL players. Yes, they're in the limelight. Yes, they are supposed to live by a certain creed. They're supposed to be role models. But again, you have to understand that they're still young. These guys are technically fresh out of college. They only been out of college a couple of years. Especially Zeke, he still has some maturing to do. He's still working on it. But again, Dak Prescott, he's very mature and he handles his business. But they're young guys. They're young guys. I heard reports about because you know the media always blows stuff up. They make something this minuscule into something that's like big as a football field. I'm like, why are you doing that? The thing that killed me about the situation was I was sitting here thinking, and I was reading the article, and I was just listening to commentators talking about it and analysts talking about it. I'm like, okay, why is this newsworthy? Why do we care? If this was two players on the Browns team, or if this was two players on the Titans or something like that, nobody would be talking about it. They may mention it, they'd be like, oh yeah, it was a joke and keep it moving. But because the Dallas Cowboys are the Dallas Cowboys, it's gonna get blown up. The media perpetuates things and they make something seem much crazier than what it is. And they do that all the time, whether it's a serious situation or if it's something that shouldn't even be in the news. TMZ, I don't know. They have a vendetta against the Dallas Cowboys. I don't know what it is with TMZ. Me personally, it just makes me feel some type of way because I have my degree in broadcast communications. And I understand how this whole media works and things of that nature. Like, I understand that, like, this is how they make their money. Whatever. Okay. They like to stir up controversy. That's what it is. But I just look at it like, it's not newsworthy. Okay, they bought the pistols. They went to a club, a lounge or whatever, and not a club. They make it seem like they was at like stadium or like they was at some big live club, but they were literally at like a lounge in Florida. I mean, I guess everything in Florida is live, but whatever. But they're down in Florida. They're having fun. They're on a break. They were on a break. These players have lives too. People forget because you know you're an NFL fan, you think that there have to be football 24/7. Don't you guys have hobbies? Don't you guys have things that you do outside of football? And I understand that, like, you know, a lot of us are older. A lot of us are much older than these NFL players. I get that. So our mindsets are different now. But you have to look at it from their perspective. These are young guys. They're still trying to find out where they're still trying to have fun. They got millions of dollars and they trying to still be normal in the off season. They're trying to be normal young 20-year-olds. I'll put it to you like this. When I was in my early 20s, I mean, I was always mature for my age, so I can't really say me, but I did some dumb stuff. Me and my cousin, before he passed away, me and him used to street race a lot. We used to go to different. I'm a car enthusiast. That's why I don't know if you guys know that about me, but I love cars. Cars is makes me happy. cars, music, and roller skating. Those are, and of course DJing music. But those are the things that make me happy. Those are my loves. That is therapeutic to me. Now I still love my cars, but I'm not out here street racing no more because I'm in my 30s and I ain't got time for that. I ain't got time to have tickets and points on my license. I ain't got time for it. Now I'll go to the track and watch them race, or I'll go to like what we have here in Maryland. We have a raceway called Budds Creek. I'll go down there and I'll watch, the cars race and stuff. But in my 20s, we were doing dumb stuff. We would on Friday nights we would go down back roads and places that didn't have a lot of traffic, and we would set up. Just that was back when the Fast and Furious series first started. So you already know my adrenaline was pumping. I remember when the first Fast and Furious came out. We literally went to the street race right after Fast and the Furious came out. And I was just so hyped. It was so much adrenaline. It was so much fun. That's what we did in our 20s. That's what I did in my teen to 20s. These young guys, these are the things that they do. Yes, it may seem funny and weird and like, okay, what it is, but I'm not judging them for it. Long as when they come back on this team, they doing what they supposed to do. Long as when they in practice, they knowing their drills, they knowing their assignments, and when game time comes, they in here working hard. Same thing with Cole Beasley. Do your music, bruh. Rap. Do what you got to do. Like I said, he can flow. It's not like he don't have the skills. I can see if Cole Beasley sucked, then I'd be like, bruh, you probably don't want to do that. But again, he's rapping in his offseason. Let him do what he got to do. He has every right to do that. Now, it's just crazy how all this is newsworthy. And I'm like, oh, they're on a boat. It's the off season. When Odell Beckham and them did it, it was in the middle of the playoffs. Like you don't do that at that time. Just like when Tony and Witten with the Cabo back when they were going to the playoffs that season when they played, and it's just the same thing. But again, they on the boat in the off season. I look at it like this: it's camaraderie. First of all, you got your top offensive lineman, your quarterback, and your running back, and your starting running back, all on the boat together having fun. What's wrong with that? I encourage that because you know what that is? That shows me that these guys hang out, and it shows that they have that camaraderie. It shows that they have that brotherhood, that bond together. And I'm all for that because I look at it like this. That just makes them tighter. So when they come back and play, when they look at each other, they're cerebrally, they're just thinking like, okay, I know what this guy's going to do when I wiggle this arm this way or do this or do that. You know what I mean? They know what they're doing. They know what each other is going to do. And it's always good to have that chemistry. Unlike the Cleveland Cavaliers, they don't have no chemistry. Not LeBron probably on his way out, and J.R. Smith is still, I don't know, he on drugs or something. He doing stupid stuff because he can't even think. And when you look at it like that, it tears a team down. And what we have here right now with the Dallas Cowboys, I cannot be more happier than seeing these players and their togetherness and doing these things that makes them happy. They're hanging out together. They're doing things together. When Tony Romo was here, he didn't have a lot of camaraderie with a lot of players on the team. He had his cliques. He had Jason Witten, and he had maybe one other person on the team that he hung out with. He didn't hang out with his offensive linemen like that often. He didn't do all that. Tony did him. So, again, it's a new age. Dallas Cowboys is a young team now. And, again, they do have to be careful what they do because the simple fact that you play for a team as prestigious as the Dallas Cowboys and you're playing for that star, you're going to be in the spotlight all day, every day. So, all I will say to them, just be careful what they do, whatever. But, that story shouldn't have been talked about. I feel like the whole NFC East is getting attacked. The Redskins the only one that ain't got no controversy. I ain't heard nothing about them. They've been quiet this offseason. But, yeah, the Giants got hacked. One of the players, I think, nude photos got leaked. I mean, it's weird. I mean, just crazy stuff. I don't want to talk about Trump, but whatever. Trump denying the Philadelphia Eagles, they're canceling their thing. Like, okay, that's fine. The Eagles didn't want to go nowhere. I mean, they only had like 10, maybe less people going. So But at the end of the day, like, it's just a lot of controversy with that anthem stuff. It's just like it's it's a big disconnect right now because what the president is thinking, what people that are on his side are thinking is way different than what the players are thinking, because the players are not trying to disrespect the flag. They're not trying to disrespect that. I think a report came out. Zach Ertz was um, he fired at Fox Sports News about how they used him and basically saying that him praying is disrespecting the anthem. But look, they were praying pre anthem. They did that before the anthem, but the media blew that up and made it seem like it was way worse than what it was. But I just look at it like this: like this country, it's our constitutional right for freedom of speech, and we have right to speak, we have right to protest. I mean, everybody has a protest. I look at it like this: I'm for the people. Granted, like this, I just hate that, like, I feel like we're still, I don't hate to bring race into things, but I feel like we're still in a racial divide. And in 2018, I'm like, why? Like, it's 2018. Like, we're still dealing with this crap. It's like, come on now. Like, me personally, I'm for the people. If whatever that you stand for, if you're a part of the gay community, if you're somebody that is gay pride, like I'm not gay, but I can't. I'm not saying that I'm not supporting it, but I don't. It's not my fight, but I'm not going to judge you for standing up for your rights, because as a person, you have your right to do that. Just like when they were fighting for same-sex marriages and things like that. I look at it like this: I may not can relate to it, but at the same time, I'm gonna hear you out and hear what you have to say, and try to understand it from your point of view. I'm not gonna shut you down and like, oh, you're doing this, you're being like this, you're being like that, and ridicule you. And I just hate how the NFL and the president are doing that right now. It's just like, let these players. These players are grown men. Let them express themselves. It's like, God dang, they're stuck between a rock and a hard place, because it's like, it's a job for them. They're getting paid by the NFL. It's like, if you don't follow suit, you're stuck between how you feel and supporting your family, because this is your livelihood, and it sucks. It's like, at some point these players are gonna strike, and I just feel like I don't want to see the NFL go down like that, because the NFL always generated a lot of money, and it was a positive thing, because with the programs they had for little kids and stuff, and the homeless shelters and the things like that. Like, I'm all for that. I'm all for the betterment of everybody. People that are that deal with mental illness. Let's do something for them. Let's come together for once and stop fighting against each other. Like, this stuff is ridiculous. And I know I'm ranting, y'all, but this was on my heart, and I just had to talk about it. Like, I get really upset when I hear people make comments about stuff because they don't understand, because they're ignorant to things that they're not used to. Me being an African American brother, I'm not gonna have the same upbringing or the same type of things that I deal with than my Caucasian brother, or my Asian brother, or my Hispanic brother. Look, let me tell you something. I got friends of all walks of life, all religions. You know what I'm saying? I'm a type of person like this. If I don't know what you're going through, or if I don't know anything about your culture or your religion, I'm gonna try to learn about it. I'm half Jamaican, but I'm American born. When I was a teenager, I tried to learn more about my culture, where that blood came from, my Jamaican bloodline. I tried to learn from different things that I didn't know about. You know what I mean? Because again, being here and seeing other cultures, like, again, my stepfather is a Nigerian guy. I mean, him and my mom are not together anymore, but he was a cool guy, and like, I actually got to go to Nigeria, and I actually got to see their culture and the things that they do over there, because that stuff is interesting to me. I like to see what other people do outside of my norm. Sometimes you have to think outside the box when you're thinking about other things and what people are going through, you just got to look at it in a way like, hey, look, man, I hear you. I see what you're going through. I may not, completely understand it, but me knowing helps me help you. So I just say that to say that, like, I know that me personally, I can't change the world myself, but I just feel like I'm just disappointed in a lot of things, and it really sucks because me personally, I love to meet different people. I love to see how people live, all walks of life. People that are struggling with mental illnesses, people that are wheelchairs. In my circle, I'm known as the Captain Save 'em. This is jokes that my friends always say. Irvin, you got a big heart. You're always trying to help people out. I was like, yeah, that's what I'm all about. If if I know that it's something that I can do, that I'm strong at, that I can help you at, I'm gonna do that. And sometimes, I got a big heart. That's just the way I am. Sometimes it gets me in trouble, but at the same time, like, I don't care. I'm gonna try to help you out. And again, my man Mark Holmes, same way. He has a big heart. He's always helping people out. And it's crazy because you're gonna deal with people that in life every day, on an everyday basis, that are gonna look at you and they're gonna prejudge you. I mean, come on, y'all. Look at these locks. I get prejudged all the time. I'm not a thug. I'm not anybody that's out here hurting nobody. I'm an upstanding citizen. I got a clean record. You know what I'm saying? I work my ass off every day. You know what I'm saying? Like, I live my life and I don't bother nobody. And at the end of the day, I am who I am. That's why I tell y'all, that's all I do is keep it real. That's what I speak on, that on a daily basis. And like I said, if I get ridiculed for speaking my mind, that's fine. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. But all I'm saying is, I always want to bring a bigger picture to people because I'm intelligent enough to know that there's more than one way to look at things. And again, everybody is different. We are not robots. Everybody is different. We are not the same. So, I'm sorry for ranting off, y'all. Like I said, it was in my heart to speak on this, and it is what it is. These social injustices is just I mean, it really breaks my heart. It really does. But can we just all get along, y'all? Like, come on. Like, what are we fighting for? But that's all I got for that right now. But hey, looking forward to mini camp coming up, training camp coming up, preseason, and hey, as soon as you know it, the season will start. Things will be up again, and we can talk trash to other teams all day. So that's been my time. This is your boy E2 Blue, always keeping it real. Thanks again to all my subscribers. If you haven't subscribed yet, please support your boy. Hit that subscribe button. And until next time, y'all have a great day.